It is Friday, almost the weekend, and I think it's going to be a really busy one. Obviously, after, we're just down to the last few shopping days before Christmas next Wednesday, 20th day of December, 2024. And I am Dan Kuntz. It is, well, high clouds. It's kind of like right now, like it was 24 hours ago. High clouds, overcast, 32 degrees. Going to be mild again today. Upper 30s, close to 40, under the influence of high pressure. And we do have that air inversion that's hanging out over the top of the Wenatchee Valley and actually most of north central Washington. That will exit the area overnight. Tonight, we're in for some rain and mild temperatures on Saturday and Sunday, and that really is going to carry all the way in to Christmas Day. We mentioned this yesterday. We're not, it's almost a lead pipe cinch now. We're not going to have a white Christmas. Sorry, it just doesn't look like that is going to happen. Temperatures are just very mild for this time of the year. We're going to be pushing 40 degrees, and our normal afternoon high is 32, and our overnight lows will be around 32 as opposed to our afternoon highs. This is very mild weather for this time of the year. Crazy stuff. Forecast details are coming up. News is coming up. A lot of sports to get to. Highlights of last night's Eastmont and Wenatchee girls and boys doubleheader. Spoiler alert, Eastmont won both games. The girls' game wasn't real competitive. The boys' game was quite entertaining. We were there with our cameras. Grant Olson with the call. We'll have highlights of the Wildcats' victories over the Panthers, both games. And a preview of a really busy weekend in sports. Lots going on there. And in case you missed it yesterday, Bonnie Orr, we're going to replay the interview I did with Bonnie Orr. Bonnie Orr, of course, came in yesterday to talk about the winter solstice, which is tomorrow. But actually today and tomorrow are the two shortest days of the year. We have 8 hours, 27 minutes, and 4 seconds of daylight today. Tomorrow, 8 hours, 27 minutes, 4 seconds of daylight, exactly the same. Sunday, 8 hours, 27 minutes, and 9 seconds of daylight. We're gaining 5 seconds of daylight on Sunday. And then they just get gradually longer by about 10 seconds a day. It will be imperceivable to most people, as you might imagine. So the actual winter solstice, by the way, is at 1:20 in the morning tomorrow. So there you go. Bonnie Orr with your winter gardening tips coming your way. 2 slides to show for you. Check it out. This is your weekend weather outlook, as we mentioned before. Unseasonably mild for this time of the year. Many locations in our viewing area will see highs at least in the upper 30s. Some places will actually get into the 40s. Today. It'll be dry today for the most part. Could see some light snow in the Cascades, not enough to really affect the region. Then Saturday and Sunday will be wetter, with everybody having a very good chance of widespread light rain on Saturday. But again, the snow level will be above the pass level. I think the snow level will be about 5,000 feet, so we're really not expecting any significant snow in the Cascades either on Saturday or Sunday. And this pattern really continues really right into the early part of next week. The best chance for snow in the Cascades is going to be Sunday on Stevens. Sunday on Stevens, light snow. Not a lot of snow, but enough to maybe make things a little dicey on Highway 2 on Sunday. And if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, this is pretty cool. Little statistic. This is our Christmas snow postcard. This goes back to 1940, so 56% of all Christmas days in the Wenatchee Valley, we have had snow on the ground, 56% of the time. If you remember 1998 and 2003, as I do here, it was quite interesting. The max amount of snowfall on Christmas Day was in 1998. It snowed 8 inches on Christmas Day in 1998. I remember it well. And the most snow we actually had on the ground on Christmas Day, and again, I remember this well, was in 2003. We had over 2 feet of snow on the ground on Christmas Day. It didn't snow on Christmas Day in 2003, but it snowed like crazy on Christmas Eve of 2003. It was really hard to get. I remember because I couldn't get out of my driveway. It snowed so hard. So there you go. We have a 56% of the time since 1940 we have had snow on the ground on Christmas Day. However, not this year. Sorry. From the National Weather Service, here we go. A slight chance of light rain. I don't think it's going to happen. Outside of that, mostly cloudy. We'll top off at 39, which is pretty much what we hit yesterday. We hit 38 degrees with overcast skies on Thursday. Going to do it again today. Cloudy, 33 for the overnight low. Then we're starting to talk about rain. Rain most of the day on Saturday during the daytime, basically 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. The snow level will be at 3,400 feet. We'll top off at about 38. It's going to rain all day. It's not going to rain heavily, but if it rains all day, and that was what the forecast is, we could get about 1/4 inch of rain on Saturday. We dry out, they tell us, on Saturday night. The chance of rain goes down to 20%, and we'll get down to 33. Sunday, rain. Most of it in the afternoon, high of 38, an 80% chance of rain on Sunday, and then into the Christmas week we go. Monday, rain likely, partly sunny, and a high of 40. 40, are you kidding me? Christmas Eve, 41. Christmas Day, close to 40, with a continuing chance of rain. In fact, the driest day right now is going to be today. We're going to have about a 70 to 80 to 90% chance of rain starting Saturday and lasting all the way through the day after Christmas, Boxing Day. All right, that's your forecast. We're going to take a break and come back with the news. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Who does Springwater Insurance Group work for? Well, we work for you. Now, some of you think we work for Medicare insurance plans. No, we work for you and your Medicare needs. Now, we are independent agents, and this allows us to teach you about all your plan choices. Now, once we find the most suitable health and drug plan for this new year, we then assist you with your enrollment. We also take it a step further. We provide local, face-to-face customer service at one of our local offices. We provide this service because it's what you want.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
High clouds, 32 degrees, upper 30s again today. It'll be dry for the most part today. The rain returns, and we're going to see pretty consistent light rain on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right on into Christmas Day. Highs pushing 40 degrees. Lots of clouds, lots of rain, and very, very mild. 9 minutes after the hour, police and prosecutors say a 6-month investigation by the Columbia River Drug Task Force has netted multiple suspects in a local fentanyl trafficking network. 4 men have been in jail since early December on suspicion of drug felonies. They arrested 2 women earlier this week. The multi-agency task force identifies 30-year-old Kevin Pena Guyona as the ringleader, assisted by fellow suspects including Jesse William Pena and Luis Fernando Garcia. Police say up to a dozen people were involved in a conspiracy to distribute fentanyl and methamphetamine throughout the Wenatchee Valley. Several properties were searched on December 6th, allegedly yielding large amounts of drugs and 10 firearms. More arrests are forthcoming. Prosecutors in both Chelan and Douglas counties expect to file charges by the end of the day today. The man convicted 8 years ago of shooting and killing a Moses Lake man outside a convenience store has to be resentenced for a 3rd time. Anthony Rene Vasquez shot and killed Juan Vasquez at point-blank range in Moses Lake in 2013. He was sentenced to life without parole. His sentence was downgraded in 2018 to 55 years in prison after an appeals court dismissed his convictions for drive-by shooting when they discovered that Vasquez did not fire his weapon from a vehicle. And in a 6-3 ruling, the Washington State Supreme Court now says the Grant County Court must hear any new defense evidence when they resentence Vasquez again, this time to strike a drug conviction that was vacated by the court's Blake ruling. No new sentencing date, by the way, has been set. The East Wenatchee driver accused of firing a handgun at another motorist on Highway 2 west of Leavenworth now faces a possible trial in March. 33-year-old Daniel Robert Stevens appeared in Chelan County Superior Court on Wednesday to be arraigned on 2 counts of second-degree assault, 1 count of drive-by shooting, and 1 count of reckless driving. Back on December 4th, he allegedly fired shots into the air and towards another car occupied by 2 men after passing them westbound near Winton. Nobody was injured. Judge Robert Jordan ordered Stevens to stand trial on March 18th, though that date, of course, is subject to change. Stevens remains free on a $50,000 bond. Well, a planned vegetation burn and a flawed weather forecast combined on Thursday morning to make Leavenworth pretty darn smoky. They didn't plan on this. The Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery conducted a prescribed burn this week. They're trying to reduce the risks of wildfire on their property along Icicle Road. Well, an unexpected inversion layer trapped the smoke near the valley floor, and that made the air quality unhealthy for people who are sensitive to these kinds of things, with asthma and other sensitivities. By mid-morning, hatchery managers realized that, oops, this isn't such a very good idea, and they put out the burn piles, and they will try again. 2 north central Washington cities will receive nearly $700,000 worth of state grants and loans set aside for major water and sewer projects. The Washington Department of Commerce awarded a combined $521,000 to Soap Lake this week, designed to help fund designs for its wastewater lift station and sewer mains. The project looks to prevent sewer backups and prevent groundwater contamination from city sewage. And up in Brewster, that town will receive $164,000 towards a survey of its water system so it can plan future improvements. The funding is equally divided between grant and loan dollars. And Governor-elect Bob Ferguson is shaping up his cabinet, and he's asked the man who's been leading the Washington State Patrol for almost 20 years to stay on the job. Chief John Batiste was first appointed in 2005 by Governor Christine Gregoire, and he retained that job through all 3 terms of Jay Inslee's administration. Ferguson announced yesterday he'll keep Batiste at the head of the state police force, also keeping their jobs, the head of the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries and the director of the Department of Historic Preservation. That's the news at 13 minutes after the hour. Before you begin your weekend, we cordially invite you to watch the news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 on TV. We know, nowadays everybody has smart TVs, tablets, whatever. And as long as you have access to the web, you can watch our evening news whenever you want. Starting at 5 o'clock, that's when we post it on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, on our homepage. It's all there. So we try to make it as accessible as possible. And if you're out and about and you see something that might be newsworthy, let us know about it. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. A whole bunch of sports is next. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Central Washington Water is your hot spring spa dealer for over 45 years. Shop their showroom and see the new Freshwater Smart IQ. This is a new innovative approach to super simple water care combined with the freshwater salt system to give you clean, balanced spa water naturally. There's a hot tub for every budget. Save up to $1,000 on hot spring spas or buy plug-and-play spas starting at $79 per month. Why shop anywhere else? Central Washington Water. They service what they sell.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a sporty new Civic, spirited Accord, fun to drive HRV, and versatile CRV. So don't wait, turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
16 minutes after the hour, the Eastmont Lady Wildcats won their first game of the year last night at the expense of their Cross River rivals, the Wenatchee Panthers. They cruised to a 68-12 victory of the Panthers. Giselle Hoven led all scorers. She had 15 points. Bella Otterstetter added 12 for the Wildcats. Grant Olson had the call on the NCWLIFE channel.
Inside Pilkington from about 6 up and in. 5.5 minutes left. Panthers trying to break full court pressure. They do 3-on-1. Norton all the way to the basket. Layup is good. Lehman on her. There's Cardona. Left hand layup. Good. Panthers back the other way. 2:40 left first quarter. Garcia Miller left open for 3. Good. Comes near side to Gale. Now it's underneath Hines with it. Kicks it out. Shot taken. And it's Osterstetter, and it's good. And Norton has it stolen away from her by Otterstetter. Otterstetter down. Can't take the shot in the lane. Gale will. It's good, and she's fouled. Holds it over her head as Eastmont tries to find an opening in this Wenatchee defense. There's Otterstetter for 3. It's up and good. Bella Otterstetter off the bench. 5 points for the Wildcats. And when you commit that many turnovers, shot taken, rebound, Hines underneath. Hoven can't do anything with it. Ball is still loose. Finally put back and up, in and good by Giselle Hoven. Down court, across half court, lefty. To the basket, nice pass underneath. Hoven, her second bucket in a row. And it's Pilkington, dribbles in, had a shot, didn't take it, kicks it out. Johnson will, no good. Rebound, Hoven underneath, back up and in. And that will do it. Our final score here at Eastmont High School, Big 9 basketball. Eastmont Wildcats 68 and the Wenatchee Panthers 12.
Giselle, 15 points tonight. Great effort.
Thank you so much.
And you know, you guys definitely dominated the glass against the Panthers. Was that something you were concentrating on before the game, winning the rebound battle?
Yeah, I think we've struggled with finishing a lot, and we've been working on that a lot. And I think we really executed it today.
Elsewhere in prep girls basketball from last night, Omak fell to, well, you saw it. You saw it. In the meantime, it's off to the boys. Eastmont completed the sweep as the boys clamped down on the Panthers in the second half. They did it by making free throws, a lot of free throws. Ty Sewellen made 9 of 10 from the charity stripe. The Wildcat defense held the Panthers to just 37 points. 50-37 was the final. Once again, Grant Olson had the call on the NCWLIFE channel.
First one on the way is good. Up the bridge of sportsmanship. Second free throw good. Here's Llewellyn with Torres on him. Torres got his hands on it. Snyder now, and then a pushing foul is going to be called on Travis Torres. That's number 2 on him. Nice defensive possession there for the Panthers. Down court and then a steal immediately. Here's Yale to the basket. Right hand layup. It's good. Here's Ray, baseline, looked for some help. Nobody was home. Llewellyn chases down the loose ball, working one-on-one against Torres. Torres blocked it, but he is going to be called for a reach-in on the arm foul. 25-22 Wildcats. Underneath, the Panthers hit Butler right in the legs and went out of bounds on that Panther pass from Ivy, and that's turnover number 12 now on the Panthers this ball game. Eastmont now by 5 right in front of us. It's Cass, gets it to Harley, bounces it off his shoe, it goes out of bounds, and Kenyon comes up with the Eastmont rebound. Kenyon will bring it down court, gives it to Babst. It's up and, or I should say Babst, yeah, it's up and good. Ray underneath, and the ball is stolen away, or is it? Yes, it is. Back comes Bodie Yale to the basket. It's good, and he's fouled. Inbounds now, and that's going to do it. Our final score from Eastmont High School, the Eastmont Wildcats 50 and the Wenatchee Panthers 37.
8 points on the night, but Jackson, you did so much more. A ton of steals. You were tough on the boards. Great effort tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot. Coach Knowles always has us work on defense every day, so it's a lot of being in the right spot and my teammates telling me where I'm at.
And it seemed that you out-hustled the Panthers to a lot of the dead balls and loose balls tonight. Was that an emphasis during practice this week? Hustle, you got back on defense, and that seemed to be a big plus for you guys tonight.
Yeah, well, that's always an emphasis with Coach Knowles, but players got to know their role, and my role is a lot of like 3-and-D, like get back, get steals, get hustle plays, stuff like that.
We're going to be outsized most of the year, so I tell the kids all the time, we got to limit opponents to one shot. They got a few more offensive rebounds than I like, but we hustled, and we have to create turnovers for our offense because we still struggle offensively a little bit. So balls on the floor, we need to get on the floor. So I'm proud of the kids.
So how does it feel to get this first Bridge of Sportsmanship game under your belt?
Oh, it's awesome. It's my first win here as Eastmont, and then it's good to get this win, and I'm happy for the kids. They played their hearts out tonight.
Good crowd last night, by the way, at the Eastmont Gym. Elsewhere, in boys basketball, Bridgeport crushed Garden City Academy. Liberty Bell got by Manson. Omak got beat by Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls. Thorpe snuck by Ephrata. Republic over Soap Lake in a big way. The Moses Lake Christian boys crushed Odessa 77-41. So that's what was played. Here's what's going to be played. Here's your prep girls basketball schedule as we head into Friday and the kids head into winter break. There is your schedule. Napa Vine and Okanagan at 4:30. Also Curlew at Aniat. Same time. 5:30 tip for Ephrata and Quincy. That will be a good one. 5:45, Cashmere will host Natchez Valley. The Cascade and Chelan girls will also tip it off at 5:45. 6 o'clock tonight, Orville welcomes Wilson Creek to town. Nia Bay, that's a long trip. Nia Bay is going to take on Pateris, but they're going to play the game in Waterville at 6 o'clock. Nia Bay, I hope they're staying in town. I think they're staying. The Nia Bay girls and boys basketball teams, I think they're staying at the Waterville Hilton. I'm not sure. 7:15 tip-off, Colville welcomes Tenasket, and Rainier will be at Brewster. That's today. Tomorrow, full slate of games. Take a look. Again, congratulations to Nia Bay, making that long trip all the way to our area. They'll take on Waterville Mansfield at 2 o'clock, at 12 noon in girls basketball. And there's a schedule the rest of the way for the girls on Saturday. And now boys' turns. Action tonight. You want to go check out some high school basketball? There you go. 5:45 tip for Tenasket at Colville. 6 o'clock for Napa Vine and Okanagan. Adna travels to Brewster. Aniat welcomes Curlew at 6 o'clock. 6:15 tip. Cascade and Chelan. Ephrata and Quincy will do battle at 7. Cashmere boys and Natchez Valley at 7:15. 7:30 tip for Nia Bay taking on Manson again at the Waterville Gymnasium. And then Wilson Creek and Orville at 7:30. And on Saturday, again, a whole bunch of games. Go see what you want to see. 10:30 tip-off. That's early. Napa Vine at Brewster. Nia Bay will take on Lake Roosevelt at 1:30. They're going to be tired. 3 games in 3 days. Adna will take on Okanagan at Brewster. Moses Lake will be at Ridgeline. 4:30 tip-off for the boys for Cascade at Waterville Mansfield. Pasco and Wenatchee will make up a game they were supposed to play a couple of weeks ago. 5 o'clock also tip-off for Kittitas at Manson. Sealy at Ephrata. Othello at Quincy. And Royal at Cashmere at 5:15. Women's scores last night. Gonzaga falls to 5-7 on the year. They lost to San Francisco 73-58. That was their league opener in Washington State. They improved to 6-6 on the year. They took care of San Diego 65-42. I got to remember, that's a league game now for the Cougars. I got to do a lot of adjusting there. As far as the schedule is concerned, tomorrow in women's college basketball, Haley Van Lith and her TCU team will be taking on, who do they take on tomorrow? In the women's, there you go. It is Haley Van Lith and TCU will take on Central Florida at 11 a.m. on ESPN+. Tonight, by the way, UC Santa Barbara will be in Cheney and Gonzaga will be at San Diego in women's college basketball tomorrow. Men's schedule. Tonight, Nothing. Tomorrow, there you go. Washington State will take on Northern Iowa in Northern Iowa. Lincoln University out of Missouri travels to Eastern, and Bucknell will be at number 13 Gonzaga Saturday night at 6 o'clock on ESPN+. Wrestling last night, Sunnyside proved while they were the favorite to win the Big Nine, rolled over Eastmont 65-10. Moses Lake dispatched West Valley on the mats 56-9. Grandview snuck by Ephrata on the mats 36-28. Wrestling schedule tomorrow looks something like this. Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Brewster, Chelan, Ephrata, Manson, and Okanagan will all be up at the Canadian border at the Orville Invite at 8 o'clock. Eastmont will be at the Cadet Classic in Yakima, the gateway to Wapato. They get going at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And Moses Lake, Quincy, and Wenatchee will be at the Othello Invite, again, beginning at 10 a.m. tomorrow. The Seattle Kraken can't score any goals. They did it again yesterday. Chicago beat them 3-1. The Kraken have lost 4 out of their last 5 games. They'll be at Vegas tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. You can watch that on Kong. The Minnesota Vikings are a 4-point favorite to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Minnesota has lost the last 5 games in a row in Seattle. But Seattle's not playing very good at home this year. They're only 3-5 at Lumen Field. It's another big one. Vikings and Seahawks, Sunday at 1:05 on Fox. In fact, all the NFC West plays on Sunday. That's a rarity. Arizona will be at Carolina. You can watch that at 10 a.m. on Fox. The Rams and the Jets will do battle also at 10 a.m. That'll be on CBS. Again, Minnesota and Seattle at 1:05 on Fox, and San Francisco and Miami at 1:25 on CBS. Seattle really needs to beat the Vikings, or upset them, if you will, to keep their playoff hopes alive. And the college football playoffs begin tonight. Interesting note, Indiana and Notre Dame. This is the first time Notre Dame will ever play a home game on a Friday night, and it's also the first game since 1990 that a Notre Dame home football game will not be broadcast by NBC. ABC has the game tonight at 5 o'clock, and then tomorrow it's a full slate of games back to back to back. SMU will be at Penn State at 9 a.m. That'll be on TNT. That'll be followed by the Longhorns welcoming the Clemson Tigers to town at 1 o'clock, and then number 9 Tennessee at the Shoe in Columbus, 5 o'clock prime time on ABC. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 27 minutes after the hour, it's National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. I don't have one. I thought I did. I was going to wear one today. I don't have one. Maybe that's good. National Sangria Day, but none for me. I'm working. It's Go Caroling Day. When was the last time a group of carolers came by your house and rang the doorbell and sang Christmas songs? We did that all the time when we were younger. We used to do that back in high school. We'd go caroling, occasionally even sober. But no, today is Underdog Day. One of my favorite cartoons, by the way, from my youth is Underdog, and of course his girlfriend, Sweet Polly Purebred. Underdog Day is a holiday that falls on the 3rd Friday in every December, and that would be today. And it's for all of those people out there who fight the impossible odds to become unlikely heroes. Here in America, we really like the underdog. It doesn't matter if it's a politician or an athlete. So, Underdog Day. Famous underdogs that came out on top. Most of them are sports related, I think. That's a sports metaphor more than anything else. The 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, the Miracle on Ice, they were about as big as underdogs you're ever going to see. The 2019 St. Louis Blues. In January of 2019, St. Louis had the worst record in the National Hockey League, and in June, they were the Stanley Cup champions. The Pirates beating my Yankees in the 1960 World Series. I still can't believe that happened. I was in Las Vegas when Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson in 1990, 42-1 odds, 42-1. Of course, the fight was in Tokyo, but it was still fun to be in Vegas. And of course, it wasn't that long ago when the Giants beat the undefeated Patriots to win the Super Bowl. Today is for all of you underdogs out there. It's 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history, Abraham Lincoln got elected president. Abraham Lincoln said, my goal isn't to eradicate slavery, it's to keep slavery from spreading beyond its current borders. And even that wasn't enough for South Carolina, who filed for divorce, if you will. South Carolina becomes the first state to secede from the United States, and they paid a big price for it. South Carolina said, we're out. December 20th, 1960, that started the chain reaction, which eventually in April of 1861 led to the Civil War. Of course, after Sherman conquered Atlanta and then marched to the sea and conquered Savannah, he turned north and took care of South Carolina. South Carolina really took it in the teeth in the spring of 1865 for a good reason. Everybody in the Union was mad at South Carolina for starting that domino effect that happened on the state in 1860. Operation Sleigh Ride, December 20th, 1952. 72 years ago today in Moses Lake, Washington. Operation Sleigh Ride was the Air Force bringing servicemen fighting in the Korean War home for the holidays at 6:30 in the evening on December 20th, 1952 at Larson Air Force Base, which is now Grant County International Airport. The C-124 barely got off the ground. In fact, just seconds after it took off, the left wing of the airplane, the C-124, struck the runway. The aircraft cartwheeled, it broke up, it exploded. 82 of the 105 passengers on board were killed. 5 of the 10 crew members were killed. They investigated and they discovered that the elevator on the aircraft and the rudder gust locks had not been disengaged before the takeoff, which means the airplane simply isn't going to fly. This was in 1952. At the time, this Moses Lake airplane crash was the deadliest accident in U.S. history. It has been, of course, surpassed many, many times. But this crash in Moses Lake, 72 years ago today, remains the deadliest aviation accident in this state's history. Aviation on an entirely different note. December 20th, 1957, 67 years ago today, the Boeing 707 makes its very first flight, and it was the beginning of the jet age. This changed everything. It was so successful for Boeing, it made Boeing, first of all, the dominant airline manufacturer, period. They built 865 707s between 1957 and 1978. It was not the first commercial jetliner in service, but it was the first to actually begin the jet age. It became the dominant way to fly in the 1960s and right through the 70s. Domestic, transcontinental, international, cargo flights, military flights. The Boeing 707, it flies. Changed aviation for history, and it flew for the very first time out of Everett on this date 67 years ago today. And happy birthday to the late lamented Seattle Supersonics. 58 years ago today, December 20th, 1966, the National Basketball Association awards Sam Schulman and Eugene Klein, both businessmen from Los Angeles and some other investors. They are awarded an NBA expansion franchise in Seattle. Seattle becomes a major league sports team. They would begin sports city. They would begin play in October of 1967. So if the Sonics have a birthday, I guess it's today. Birthdays, 2 heavenly birthdays, both of them athletic legends. Branch Rickey wasn't much of an athlete, but alongside Ed Barrow of the New York Yankees, there's no question that Branch Rickey is one of the most influential front office people in the history of Major League Baseball. Of course, he signed Jackie Robinson in 1946, and he said if he's good enough in 1947, he's going to play for my Dodgers, and he did. Branch Rickey invented the framework for the modern minor league farm system. He encouraged the major leagues to expand, and they did, and he was the man who introduced the batting helmet. Branch Rickey, the legendary Branch Rickey, one of the giants in baseball, born in the state in 1881. And Bob Hayes. Bob Hayes has a very unique claim to fame. At the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, Bob Hayes won 3 gold medals, all in sprints. He was the fastest man in the world, and so the Dallas Cowboys drafted him, even though Bob Hayes didn't play football. Dallas was thinking, if this is the fastest guy on the planet, and Bob Hayes was, if we make him a wide receiver, there isn't a defensive back in football that can keep up with him. So we ended up playing 11 seasons for the Dallas Cowboys, and it worked. Bob Hayes is the only athlete to win both an Olympic gold medal and a Super Bowl ring. Pretty remarkable. We lost Bob a number of years ago at the age of 59. He was born in the state in 1942. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. When construction kicks off again in spring and you're building a new house and you're building it custom and you're working with your contractor and it comes time to decide who's going to put in the HVAC system, the contractor, more often than not, will tell you, I recommend Alpine Air because they know what they're doing. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Still to come, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and then we're going to replay the interview I did yesterday with Bonnie Orr, my friend Bonnie Orr, Master Gardener, because the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, is tomorrow. Winter gardening tips with Bonnie when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on an efficient CR-V hybrid, spirited Accord hybrid, sporty Civic hybrid, and the all-electric Prologue. Don't wait, turn your dreams into reality with a new Honda, named KBB.com's best overall EV and hybrid brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, our legendary pizzas are so giant, they feed up to 6 happy family members. When you need a break from cooking, think Abby's. Our place or your place. Our family is here for your family.
Let's go to Hawaii for the holidays.
Here's an easier idea. Enjoy Abby's classic Big Hawaiian Pizza this December. This delicious tropical and giant pizza is at a special holiday price. And when you gift an Abby's gift card, we'll give you a present too.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I've heard you've heard people say, and maybe you've said it yourself, that I feel like I have to walk around eggshells around them. Meaning, of course, that we're trying to moderate our own behavior in hopes that we don't make someone else mad or abusive. Well, if you feel like you're walking on eggshells around someone, don't bother. See, the reality is, if your partner or your friend is going to get mad or abusive, that's their problem. And no matter what you do, they're going to find an excuse to act out and then blame you for their behavior. Now, seriously, if this is what's going on in your relationship, it may be time to stop worrying about what you're doing and instead start questioning the nature of the relationship itself. This is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and that's my opinion.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center is bringing American Farmer to their campus on December 27th and 28th. It's a guided tour for those who want to step into the shoes of an American farmer. And the legacy of tree fruit pioneer Grady Allville will be celebrated with a screening of the documentary Gee Whiz on December 28th at noon. Admission to the screening is included with your museum admission.
I think that's a power line.
Nailed it.
What the?
Are you gonna call 911 or should I?
Actually, we're late. I'm just gonna drive over it.
Afraid not. Down power lines are super dangerous. If you see one, you call it in.
Yeah, I just drove up to a down power line.
She gets it.
Winter is on its way, Wenatchee Valley, and Collins is prepared. Warm coats, sweaters, boots, scarves, and gloves. Cozy pajamas from PJ Salvage. Beautiful fashions for your holiday celebrations from Joseph Ribkoff and Frank Lyman. Brighton jewelry and handbags are handcrafted and a very popular Christmas gift. We carry Valespa and Capri Blue candles. Don't forget the ever-popular Collins gift card. Collins Fashions has complimentary gift wrap and wonderful service in downtown Wenatchee.
Every solstice and every equinox, Bonnie Orr drops by. The equinoxes are spring and fall. The solstices are summer and winter. And guess what? At 1:20 in the morning on Saturday, is that right? 1:20 officially, I'll be asleep, what do I care, is the first day of winter, the winter solstice, the longest day of the year in the southern hemisphere, the shortest day of the year. Up here, we always talk about the do's and the don'ts. And to join me, it's our friend, it's Bonnie Orr. Woohoo!
Good morning, good morning.
First of all, thank you for this.
Yes.
This is actually in
I just picked them this morning.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Little Roses and the Michaelmas Daisy.
Thank you.
I mean, that's because we're having a mild late fall.
We had a mild is an understatement. We had a hot summer. Hotter than normal. We're starting to be the regular now, and we did, as we have the fall weather stats here, we had a warmer than normal autumn. We've talked about this before for the last couple of years. This is now the new normal as far as climate and meteorology is concerned. Things have changed. These are just facts. Things have changed.
Indeed. In fact, the frost in my yard, my first frost in my yard was not until like the 18th of November. Yeah.
You've been at your home in East Wenatchee for a very long time. You inherited plants and trees and shrubs when you bought the house and moved in. Have you seen some of the things that you inherited when you bought your house that aren't doing as good as maybe they should because of what's going on?
No, I only had 3 trees. I bought the house because it didn't have a yard. I mean, because it had the space. But
you had a blank slate.
I had a blank slate to work on, and then the windstorm in 2007 blew down one of the big trees that was going to have to be removed anyway. So. But no, I have not noticed any difference. Yeah, but I mean, like things still growing. It's pretty amazing.
Speaking of pretty amazing, what the folks who sell you Christmas trees try to do is sell you stuff to keep your tree looking better longer. That's a myth and misconception. All you got to do for your Christmas tree is water the damn thing, right?
Well, yes, you water it because some of the other stuff can clog, and a tree will drink a huge amount of water. So that's really important. And also you only have it for 3 weeks. And so sometimes they have lemon or bleach or something like that to prevent bacteria from growing. It's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. But water is.
Yeah, well, and it is amazing how much a Christmas tree can drink. They're guzzlers.
They can almost a gallon. I mean, and you should have a really large container for it anyway.
Yeah, obviously, for 2 reasons. Number 1, you don't want it to fall over. Number 2, if you forget for a day, it's probably going to be okay. Yeah. So, de-icers.
You know,
let's talk about that.
Okay, I see people go out and throw de-icers on snow. De-icers don't work on snow. Okay, and if you read the back of the package, there's also temperatures. Okay, so if it is below, it depends on the de-icer, but generally they work in the 20s. So when it's 0 degrees or 5 degrees, you put down the de-icer, it's not going to work. Okay, and there's just the problem of tracking that stuff in the house, you know, and on the carpet, animal paws, da-da-da-da-da.
The contractors who do the sidewalks and the driveways, when they're done, they go out with the little green pellets, you know, the bags, and they spread the de-icer on the sidewalk.
And sometimes that's a waste of product.
Okay. Is it bad for your yard? Because, you know, sidewalk transitions to yard?
Depends what you use.
Okay.
Depends what you use. Because calcium chloride, I think, is the one that is the least damaging to lawns.
And they all have specific instructions on how to apply it correctly.
It's amazing.
Right?
Reading the back of the bag is just...
Read the damn bag. It's as simple. That's as simple as that. Let's talk about our friends, our little feathered friends.
Yes.
They need shelter, they need water, they need food, just like we do. Only they're living outside and we have a roof over our head. How do we keep our birds happy?
They mostly need water. I mean, that will be the thing that will attract them to you. Open water, unfrozen water. Sometimes a little grit if we have a lot of snow, but we don't have a lot of snow anymore. I mean, truly, we do not. And food, yes, but you have to keep the feeders clean because molds and things can grow in the feeder, and then the bird can become sick. The birds can become sick.
And of course, they defecate just like we do.
That's right, and so it has to be. You have to be able to clean it up or spread it out or something so it dries out.
If you put up a bird feeder outside, and you should, and keep it constantly full and clean, maybe like just like a 4 foot by 4 foot tarp right underneath it to catch all that stuff, or not?
No, because then it's going to rain on it, and then there's going to be snow on it. I mean, it's fine to have it on the ground, but you need to know that there are ground feeders as well, birds that feed on the ground. So you need to spread it out, or move the feeder from place to place.
And the birds will find it. I found this out 30 some odd years ago with my first house. On a whim, I bought a bird feeder and some wild bird seed and hung it up on a branch and filled it full. And within a half an hour, there were birds all over.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? You know, the other thing is that there's just lots of seeds. I don't deadhead, and I grow things that have seeds on them, and then the birds feed all winter long. I grow thistle seed, the black thistle seed, the Niger, and I grow all sorts of other things, and then the birds. That's one of the ways of not having contamination is because it's spread out over the whole yard.
People don't think about doing outdoor gardening and yard care this time of the year. It's December, the days are cold and short. But is there anything wrong with like saying, I know it's December or January, but I never did like that tree, or I never did like that bush. Can I just take it out now?
I was out gardening the other day. I mean, we had a sunny day. It was so nice after the inversion for 10 days. Yes, this is the time to do things out in the yard. And this is when you can be really firm about getting rid of something that you've not wanted in that place.
Trees, shrubs, bushes, anything else that just you never liked or it didn't work out, you can just take it out now?
If the ground's not frozen, you can dig too.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a little infestation of bishop's weed. And so I'm going to be getting at that with
Bishop's
my spade.
weed? I didn't know you were Catholic.
Haven't you seen me, John and Flex?
We talked about de-icers. Is there anything else that people apply to their cars or their driveways or sidewalks that you don't want that stuff to get anywhere near plants or flowers? Or...
You know, some people used to use fertilizer. I hope people are past that.
Because why? Does it melt ice?
Yes, yes, but
no.
No.
And people over fertilize anyway. So who's kidding that? You wrote a very interesting open winter.
Yeah.
Oh, what defined open winter?
Well, there's no snow on the ground, or there's very little snow on the ground.
Which right now is where we're heading.
We're having an open winter. We're having an open late fall because it's not winter yet. But you know, where it rains or where there's no snow on the ground, that's what open winter is. Yeah. And you know, if it wasn't raining, we would be worried about desiccation of plants. But I think that the wet November is going to take care of all the trees and things for us.
We had an exceptionally wet November, almost 2 inches of rain. It was almost one of the wettest Novembers ever measured, and we're off to a wet start in December. You saw the forecast all the way through Christmas and maybe beyond. We're going to see our afternoon high temperatures close to 40, our overnight lows about 32, 33, which is normally our daily high.
Yes.
And rain every day for the next 7 days. What do we need to be aware with that kind of wet weather? Not snow, but rain.
Oh, well,
in December.
okay. And it's not going to freeze at night, so you don't have to use de-icers. That's a really good thing.
Right.
But, you know, in the spots between the rainstorms, you could go out and do something.
That's fair enough. House plants, they don't get a lot of sun this time of the year.
No.
Most people are smart enough to put them to a south-facing window, so whatever they do get, They do
Or
get
west-
do the
west
plants
facing.
get cut? House plants, even normal house plants, do they get kind of punky, kind of sad, kind of
They
depressed?
do, and they don't need very much water, depending on how hot you keep your house. But you have to look for bug infestations, because this is the time when buggies are going to hatch out if the plant is weakened. The big danger is bringing in new plants. If you bring in a house plant gift, you always have to keep it in isolation in another room for at least 3 weeks. And people go, well, I want to look at it. Well, yes, you can look at it, but then you have to see what's...
You've never been a big fan of giving even somebody who you like and is into plants a plant for Christmas because of that very thing.
of that very thing.
Yeah.
And also because of the danger of actually killing the plant between the store and getting it home, because it's, 40 degrees even is not something tropical plants like.
If there's any viewer out there who is just bound and determined to buy somebody on their list a plant, what's the best 2 or 3 kinds of plants that you can buy this time of year at a nursery that you can't kill no matter how hard you try?
Probably
now?
Christmas cactus.
Okay.
Okay, that would be one of them, or any of the tropical greens. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, we talked about that. Look at last year's photos and make a plan, provided that you took photos last year.
Well, people do take photos of their family out in the garden, and they go, oh, that's a dead spot in the lawn. How do I take care of that? So this is the time to reconsider your watering patterns, but also you can see where something has outgrown its space or whatever. It is really amazing when you go back and look at the picture, because, ta-da, you say, oh, I see that. But this is also the time when the new catalogs come out. I always call it plant pornography because the plants look so beautiful, and you just want one of those and 2 of those and some of this. Check making sure that the zone is correct. Ours is 7 for cold, and 8 for heat. And the heat zone is really important because it's the number of days over 86, and we have a lot, and many plants can't take up enough water.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter how much you water, they just physiologically cannot take up enough water. So you have to also think about what space you have. It's just so enticing to say, oh, I would love to have
How
that.
do you keep such a great attitude this time of the year when you can't do nearly the kinds of things that you love to do on a daily basis in December and January and February that you can in July and June? How do you deal with that?
I watercolor paint.
Okay.
Okay, because it has bright colors,
Sure.
especially for the inversions. And what else do I read a lot. You can't be outside. I exercise,
Sure.
Yeah.
Do we have everything taken care of? Because we're almost out of time, Bonnie. Anything else that's on your mind while I have you here?
Okay, planting. Okay, people you won't see me again until the end of March.
Right.
That's the time to start tomato plants, not before, okay? Because otherwise they get too leggy and then they do not survive. But in February, you could start herb seeds.
Okay.
And I'm going to start geranium seeds for this year for the first time. Usually I do cuttings. I'm going to try seeds.
Do people sometimes jump, if we have a mild and wet winter, which is the long-term forecast, by the way, from the Climate Prediction Center, warmer than normal, wetter than normal, do people kind of want to jump the gun if we have a couple of days in February where it pushes 55 and they just want to start doing stuff?
Soil temperature. Get your probe out and see what the soil temperature is, because that is what determines the growth. And the roots will not grow when it's cold.
That's true.
Yeah.
Bonnie Orr, everybody. And by the way, folks, if you have any questions at all, we can't stress this enough. We talk about it all the time. Chelan Douglas Master Gardeners are the pros. They know what they're doing. They are the best of the best. And the Chelan Douglas Master Gardeners is a highly vetted professional organization. Just because you write a check.
Volunteer organization.
Volunteer organization. And it takes a lot of training, a lot of expertise. And if you have any questions at all, just get a hold of them. Their offices are on the intersection of Douglas and Washington Street.
You have to get hold of us by email. Chelan Douglas Master Garden, or Chelan. Let me try this again. Chelan Master Gardeners @gmail.com, and we constantly look at what people are asking and we respond to it.
Bonnie Orr, everybody. Who's on her way to Mansfield to have a great time, a sentence that has never been spoken by anybody.
Oh, don't say that. You are so
We
bad.
love our friends in Mansfield. One of my best friends is from Mansfield. One of my best friends. And then he moved to Texas. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone.
Collins Fashions welcomes you to a very special holiday season. We are stocked with beautiful fashions and wonderful gifts for your loved ones. Personal service, complimentary gift wrap, Collins gift cards, make your shopping a joy.
Downtown is the heart of Wenatchee. Discover food and beverage spots, delightful shops, and countless services. For the latest on downtown arts, entertainment, and more, go to downtownwenatchee.org.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here. A small town holiday wouldn't be complete without a visit to an original American hardware store in downtown Chelan. Kelly's Ace Hardware has been serving the greater Chelan area for nearly 100 years. Let them take you back to a time where personal service and quality products went hand in hand.
You're invited to experience small town holidays in iconic Lake Chelan. From local shopping to Santa parades, a getaway visit to Lake Chelan is a great way to make this holiday season special. Learn more at smalltownholidays.com.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
All right, if you will indulge me in a little shop talk before we wrap up the weather forecast. Of course, Christmas this year is on a Wednesday. It's kind of an odd day. There's nothing you can do about it. That just happens to be where December 25th falls on the calendar in the year 2024. So a bit of a programming mix and match things are going to be happening next week. First of all, I'll address my show, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be here. We'll be doing a show on Monday. It won't be much, but we'll do a show on Monday. And we'll be here on Christmas Eve on the morning of the 24th as well. Obviously, we'll be taking Christmas Day off on the 25th. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley will be back on Thursday the 26th. And then so we can enjoy a 3-day weekend. Our Wake Up Wenatchee Valley team will be taking Friday off of next week. So Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on Monday and Tuesday. No show for the holiday proper. We'll be back on Thursday the 26th, and then we'll be taking Friday the 20 whatever day is off on that. Now, as far as the evening news is concerned, our evening news crew has decided they're going to take most of next week off. So the plan for the evening news, of course, we'll have it for you tonight, and then we'll have the news for you on Monday and Tuesday of next week, the 23rd and the 24th, and then no news. We'll have special programming or all kinds of different things mixing and matching on the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. So there'll be no NCWLIFE evening news on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week, because if anybody in this building needs to take a little time off to spend with family and friends and a little decompression, believe me, it's our news crew. I showed you these two slides at the start of the show. I'm going to show them to you again. First of all, the weekend weather outlook. The mild temperatures are very odd for this time of the year. Today is going to be dry. A little bit of snow in the Cascades today, and that's really about it. But Saturday and Sunday will be wetter with widespread rain all over our viewing area, and the snow levels on Sunday could get down to pass level, especially on Stevens. But the big story is the very mild and wet weather for this time of the year. And speaking of wet weather, let's revisit Christmases past. Going back to 1940, here in Wenatchee, going back to 1940, 56% of all Christmas days since 1940, we have had snow on the ground. Our snowiest Christmas Day, when it actually snowed on Christmas Day, was in 1998. It snowed 8 inches on December 25th, 1998. And the most snow on the ground on Christmas Day was Christmas Day 2003. We had 26 inches of snow on the ground that year, back in 2003. None this year, sorry folks, except the upper elevations, of course. From the National Weather Service, most kind of just what we did yesterday, cloudy, slight chance of some light drizzle. We'll get up to 39, which is pretty much what we got to yesterday. Cloudy tonight, 33 for the overnight low. And then here comes a wet pattern. You see it there. The chance of rain varies between basically 50 to 90% right through Christmas Day and right on into Thursday. And those afternoon high temperatures about 9 to 10 degrees above normal. It's going to be warm. Have a good and safe weekend, and we will see you Monday. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.